Hello, my friends. This is what we started with in the transfer budget and the wage budget. And now we're at this. We have spent 46.5 million-ish euros. Let's go find out what that means, because I think we've added a lot of quality depth. And I think this is one of the few transfer windows and be like, I think you all are going to be like, yeah, good job. Except for one thing. Hello, my friends. Thanks so much for your support. Hit that like button. Let's keep driving towards, we're almost to 6,200 subscribers. We're like 20 short of 6,200, which is a step to 6,500, which is kind of the first step to 10,000. So it's like a miniature step. Thanks for your support. Either way, I am kind of pumped. I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as humanly possible. I'm not sure if that's going to happen because I tend to ramble when I talk, but we've got a lot to talk about, and that's exciting. So let's go do it. Yes, my friends, Jimbo in the comments on the last episode, I think you might have already spoiled the potential Origi contract thing in the squad view around the 5-minute mark. I know, I'd love to tell you, Jimbo, that I left that in on purpose, but I actually tried to remove any hints. But you know, you've got eagle eyes, and maybe other people noticed as well. So, Origi stays. And I don't think you're gonna like that as a viewer, so don't click off because there's other really exciting things coming. Here's my thinking. Who in our squad has Champions League experience? Origi, Kostas Tsimikas. There might be one or two others. I'm not going to go click on it right now because then you might see all the signings. But I mean, like, those are the two main ones. And I do think it makes sense to say, here's a guy who last year gave us 14 goals and 8 assists in league on a 7-1-8. If you go with the other commenter, Rose Solane, Rose, who said, either way, you're guaranteed an extra 5.3 million or at least 4 million. Like if he stays until the January window, or no, it was 13 weeks. So if he stays 13 weeks, half a season, or no, that's not half a season, 26 weeks. 26 weeks would be half a season. So like if he stays 26 weeks, we're guaranteed at least an extra 4 million if someone signs him at the end of that period, like in the January window. Does that make sense? So what I just ramble on makes sense. The fact that the release clause went up, even though we bumped the loyalty bonus up and we're paying higher wages by 15 grand, we would still come out ahead. So it's like if he goes this summer, it's August, right? So he hasn't gone yet, but if he goes, it's a great move. It's a financially great move. If he stays, we're keeping a guy who gave us 14 goals and 8 assists and can help guide all these youngsters. And I'm a narrative football manager player. So there was another comment that was like, there's a, I think it was Magical Wood Chip, which is a lovely username, who said, you know, there's a glitch where you can boost someone's release clause when you suggest terms before accepting. You can change it. And I don't like to glitch things. Like there's... it's like some people like I read out in the last episode, like, hey, you need to send your scouts to the places where only wonder kids come from. And I'm like, I don't think that's realistic because football clubs don't do that. They try, but it's like there's not one club that buys up all the wonder kids, right? So I just go like, scouts, you do your thing. And then contract stuff, we negotiate it as fairly as we can. I think Origi is worth keeping, and here's hoping Samuel L from last episode's comments is wrong and that he doesn't do his ACL. But that seems like a very GHG thing, doesn't it? His ACL just pop, you know, like off you go. So we've got him for another 3 seasons. He'll be 33. 30 years old on the wing and leading the front line. I think that's still like he's in pretty good shape thus far, even though he's not very determined, which is the only negative. So we're keeping Origi. Maybe this will soften the blow of Origi. You see these kits right here? So there's a thing called Kit Basher. You may have seen other content creators talk about it. I have redone almost all, I think it's all of the Bundesliga and the Zweite Bundesliga teams, and then a couple of the teams that got relegated, like Sandhausen as an example. I'm not going to go through all of those right now, but I think new kits are awesome, and I think these look really sharp. And shout out, there were a couple people, but primarily Shunaldo from the comments and in the Discord, who was super helpful saying, hey, this club wouldn't have that randomly generated advertiser or sponsor, right? Because they're in different parts of Germany, whatever. So that was super helpful. And then I kind of, you know, picked through these and like rotated through. I think the home kit is very sharp with the blue stripe, like the blue on blue. The white kit I think is sharp. My favorite one is I picked, you know, for all the teams that didn't have a third kit color, I picked one. So or a set of colors. So I think the orange and cream with the green, ooh, that's my favorite. And theoretically, it also includes the 3D images. So like when we get to the match engine, you'll see different looking kits, which I think, you know, it's 2025. We started the season in 2021, or the save in 2022. Yeah, 2021. So, you know, I think it makes sense that you get 4 years later, you get new kit sponsors come in, and it just is really weird that all the Bundesliga and Zweite Bundesliga kit sponsorship deals all ended at the exact same time. Just roll with it from a narrative standpoint. So again, I won't show you all of those as we do this. Like that'll be like we'll mix them in, you know, a couple every episode to kind of show them off. And then you'll see the difference in the match engine. Mehmet Can Aydin has gone to Eintracht Braunschweig. How's that for pronunciation? Let me know in the comments. 700 grand. I think we did well. They are in the Zweite Bundesliga. They got promoted. They're the up and down team. And we got a straight 700 grand. Like no add-ons, no, you know, sell him in the future clauses. It was just time. So we're going to hit some of the not exciting ones. These are most of the outs. Let's go. We finally got a loan fee for a player. That's exciting. Like, I don't know what changed. Like, we have a couple players we've actually, like, gotten loan fees for. Maybe it's because I waited and, like, they came to me. Or it's because we fired or we let the contract expire of our loan manager and we brought in another one. Maybe that's it. This deal was done, though, before that guy came in. So he can't claim credit for Karim going out on loan. He's gone to Arminia Bielefeld on a, wait for it, regular starter contract, which I'm a little surprised by, to be honest with you. They are in the Bundesliga, right? And like they have been. So they finished last season in 9th. Maybe their scouting department's not very good, or they just plan to use him in a different spot. Maybe he's going to be a left midfielder. I don't know. He's 2.5 stars, but fine by me. And they're paying almost all of his wages and 48 grand monthly fee and a 115 grand unused monthly fee. So, you know, even if they use him 100% of the time, right? That's 12 grand a week. That makes up for the 1,500 gap and then some. So like we're actually getting paid for a player. Now, they do have an optional future fee for $1 million, which I kind of feel like it says his value is 1.8 to 4.7. I'm not convinced. He might be worth 2. But there were, I thought, some clauses in here. I thought that maybe it's one of the other loans where there's clauses like, you know, if they avoid relegation and whatever. So Karim out on loan. I'm just excited. Like we finally had a player earn us a return for going out on loan. And I think, you know, he's got a chance to develop, and then he'll have a year left when he comes back next summer. This is going to be quick. Christopher Schlosser, who is a decent-looking youth prospect, but he was never, he was 1.5 star with a potential of 2.5 to 3.5, or 2.5 to 3. We sold him for 200 grand, rising to 325 to Union Berlin. Yeah. Honestly disappointed because we had another offer for just a straight 425, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to let him go where he wants. He's been with us a while, and he chose the other option, of course. Daniel Rose, our Irish goalkeeper, wanted to sign a first-team contract extension. He had a year left, so we had to get it done before, you know, the January window, and, wouldn't consider, anything, even if it was to go out on loan, kind of threw a hissy fit. And I was like, fine, we'll sell you. And so, despite the fact we let Stefan Ortega walk, he also wouldn't sign a contract to be a backup, which I, don't really blame him. He's actually got the talent for it. Daniel Rose has been sold for 51 grand to Bayern Munich, but with a 40% profit of next sale clause. I think it's a good deal. It gets him off our books. We got some sort of return for him. He's gonna go rot at Bayern Munich, I think. I could be wrong. is what it is. He's going to play in the whatever, the Bayern Munich 2 in the 3 Liga. So he's at least in a real league. Maybe he'll develop and they sell him for 4 million. I don't know. I doubt it. We have loaned a German youth prospect, which is curious considering, you know, it's a homegrown club and nation player, and we're in the Champions League, and we have a registration thing in the Champions League and the Bundesliga for that. Abner Alu has gone to Stuttgart just for wages, no loan fee, but his contract is a regular starter. He's already made 3 starts, 1 in the DFB Pokal, 2 in the league on a 7.65. He's actually most likely a Bundesliga level player. Like it says, you know, potentially a good Bundesliga right back, which is interesting, but decent player for most Bundesliga sides. And Stuttgart, my friends, are currently in the Zweite Bundesliga. So they got relegated and are looking to bounce back. Now, I think that's key, okay? Because he'll come back with a year left, but if they get promoted, would they want to sign him for 4 or 5 million? If he does a good job for him. Maybe. Either way, we've loaned him out because he was not going to get game time. We'll talk about why. Now, one thing I do try and do, and one of the things I've learned is, like, even the players who are like, I don't think I'm going to be able to sign that player, continue to scout them, and then I'm throwing them on a short list. This guy was not completely scouted, which, you know, you could obviously say is a problem. We've signed Uriel Selly, Peruvian, from Watford, my friends. Watford got relegated, and I was paying attention, and we went and looked at a bunch of Watford players to see if there's any quality, because here's my thing. I think of the leagues in Europe, maybe Serie A, maybe parts of the Bundesliga teams that get relegated, and then the Premier League, in my experience, are the best places to go pick up those relegation clause players. Like, Ligue 1 is so, in my opinion, top heavy that, like, the last place Ligue 1 team, there's not as much quality versus like a Premier League club. So we picked this kid up for 145 grand, which, granted, he wasn't fully scouted, so it turns out only to have 3-star potential, but I think he's better than Mehmet Can Aydin was, even though he's on the left side, and Uriel's on the left side, Mehmet Can Aydin was on the right. He's better than Can Bozdogan. You know, like, he's not bad, but he wanted to be loaned as part of the deal. So I actually think that's a good deal. They're paying nothing. So, like, we're eating 14 grand, but it's a regular starter contract. And he's in the Eredivisie. So we'll see how he does. I just thought it would be good to get him some time to develop. And, you know, maybe he starts cutting in on the right for us. Maybe he's the next Joe Gelhardt. Another one I can't really understand, Matthaus Ruhr, has gone to Arminia Bielefeld as well for a straight 425. He was a prospect goalkeeper. He's already 18. He hadn't developed his first time. Like, he's never going to make it for us. 425 straight up with no clauses is a bargain on our side. Like, happy to have done that. See ya. And last but not least, Thorsten Shoehn, who I thought we might actually use this year, especially with the Champions League and rotating. So this might be a mistake, but we've loaned him to Jan Regensburg. Why did I roll it? Why did I roll the R? 13th in the Bundesliga. Yeah, they've done the business. They've gotten promoted. Good for them. Again, wasn't planning on it. They came to us. We're paying him 2.6 grand in wages. They are paying 10% of his wages, but giving us 55 grand a month. So even if they paid 0 wages, like, do the math, okay, 10 grand a month, we're making 45 grand a month. And if he doesn't play, we're making that much more. We're making like 115 grand. I'm very happy with that deal. And I think we've got enough depth, knock on wood, to get away with it. And it goes and it gets him decent playing time, right? I don't understand this. This guy's going to a club that's gotten promoted to the Bundesliga, and they gave him important player playing time for a 2-star. I mean, he's got high potential, so, like, that's for us a phenomenal deal. We are making good money on him. which is, again, like the second or third player ever we've made that kind of a loan fee on. And he's not guaranteed. I'm going to say guaranteed, then they're not going to play him. But, like, theoretically, an important play. Like, he's not squad player where you could go, like, well, that means they're, like, going to use him once every 5 games, right? Like, important player, you would expect him to play most games. So he's going to get good playing time at our level. Thanks, I guess. Some of the other loans, we just extended. Like, Langfeld's got back on loan. Adam O'Reilly, like, whatever. You knew about those. Not very exciting. Adrian White is a 19-year-old replacement for Daniel Rose that just left. He's American. Wait for it. And German. He's an American German. Get in, son. I'm not sure. He was born in Louisiana. Lafayette, Louisiana. Must be like a military connection, right? Touted as the next Tim Howard. I did not see that. What? Touted as the next Tim Howard? I was wondering a little bit. Okay, not gonna lie. We signed him. Like, I was looking for players specifically with German nationality or second nationality. Okay, or maybe in my scouting search it was homegrown nation. Okay, like, because I know we've got this in the Champions League and the Bundesliga. We have to have a certain number of players. And I was like, well, if Daniel Rose leaves, is there some goalkeeper out there that we could pick up, you know, and just it'll be a like for like. And this guy showed up, and I was like, all right, he actually looks pretty good, right? Like, his first touch not great, his passing not great, like, but he's 19. He's 19 and a half. Whatever. He's a birthday at the end of the year. Fairly professional. Composure's pretty bad. Like, I'm not saying he's a worldie. Like, I'm not saying he's worth being the backup keeper, which we don't really have, except for Luka Podlets. Thanks, old lady place, for the pronunciation help there. But all that to say, when we signed him, it was like 8.6 million. And I was like, whoa. Whoa. 8.6 million? What are you talking about? And again, it's not because of his contract. We're paying him $2.5 grand a week. So it's not like he's on 100 grand. Who would pay a player 115 grand? He's not that. And then I just see that media description. Is this like a hidden nugget? Like, okay, cool. But there's Adrian White. That's like exciting, I guess. Let's go look at some players we've spent money on. We got it for Bayern. We essentially just swapped with Bayern. I was going to point that out as well. Like, except we got paid. They released this guy, and we got paid for our Irish guy. Yeah, it's not bad business. Gerardo de Dios Martin del Campo. Did I get it right? Ooh, come on, let me know in the comments. I think that's worth you pausing if I got that right, to be like, dude, thumbs up. Like, you can leave as many comments. Did you know on YouTube videos you can leave as many comments as you like, especially positive ones? Not just a hat rack, my friends. Yeah. Wow, he's worth 42 to 61 million. That seems absurd. We paid 10. I want to say that was a minimum fee, like a foreign team, you know, like foreign team release clause from Cruz Azul in Mexico. He is replacing Metza. Okay? He's a wonder kid, fairly professional, 19 years old, be 20 in January. 17s everywhere, at least in the important parts, like dribbling, first touch, flair, technique. And he's on a deal until 2030. He's a treat. We didn't have him all summer because he was in the Gold Cup. 6 starts, a goal, 2 assists on a 7-4-3. You know who won the Gold Cup? Jamaica. They beat Mexico, and they beat the United States on the way to Mexico. So that was good. Not better. I think this kid is something else. And in case you were wondering what his contract looked like, there it is. So he was on 11 grand. We're taking him at 48.5 grand, 54 million minimum fee release clause. There's the loyalty bonus in there. And we've agreed to regular starter minutes initially and in 27-28. So in 2 seasons, he'll be an important player, or he'll be gone because he'll be worth so much more. And I want to say, yeah. No, it wasn't a release clause. I don't remember why he's only 10 million. He's 10 million though. and I think it's a steal. Since I'm going back through my save files, Xavi Simons is like a transfer. We told him we would sign him a new contract at the end of the year because he was on like 8 grand or 9 grand a week. He's up to 32 grand, important player, and he's happy, and he's here on a 5-year deal. We've also extended the contract of Metin Yilmaz to 22.5 grand. He was starting to ask, and I think he's worth it. It's got a 40 million release clause, but it does expire in a little bit more than 2 years. It's essentially at the end of the next 2 summer transfer windows. And his wages could go up to 29 grand after 5 international appearances, but squad player for now, 2 years from now, regular starter. He's going to get minutes this year. So he is like our backup defensive midfielder / holding mid. I took a punt on City Sane. We extended his contract on a 2-year deal. He wanted emergency backup. He kind of knows his place. I don't think anybody's going to loan him, and that's a problem. That was kind of the plan. It's like, let's get his contract extended, let's loan him, and then let's sell him. And then, like, he's just not good enough. But let's talk about players who are good enough. Francisco Conceição. Consao? I'm not sure. We're going to call him Frank. Good old Frankie. Look at that face. He's smiling. He's happy. Yeah, my friends. Leipzig got him on a free, so they're making a deal here. But he is going to be... So this is the good or bad of what I've done. Is he's almost as good as Vieira on the right, and I think we've told him we would do regular player minutes, or regular starter minutes. I'm going to show you the contract here in a second, but I think he's quite good. He didn't play much this past season. 2 starts, 3 subs, 2 goals on a 6.7. Tight hammy, and he had a major hip injury a couple years ago, but like nothing that... Obviously, he just wanted to leave to get better playing time because he was on a squad player contract. So we come calling, and we've agreed a deal for 12.25 million. Same exact wages that he's making. Oh, we did do important player. Yep, we, as if like there was a team and not just me clicking buttons in Football Manager. Narrative. He does have a 61 million release clause, which that's fine. Whatever, dude. Like, we paid 12 million for it. If you want to leave next year for 61 million, you want to leave in January for 61 million, knock yourself right out. There's the contract. But my goal for this window was to spread the money out and to build depth, because we're going to have group stage games in the Champions League and the Bundesliga. So like, we got to keep those things going, have a rotation, and have the drop off in rotation not be very steep. We'll talk about how we could rotate once we get through all the players. Yes, my friends, there's more coming. David Batella. All right, from Genoa on a 2 million release clause, I believe. Oh, we don't have him fully scouted. It was, yeah, you could tell I didn't have him fully scouted. And I was like, he looks good enough. He's 6'1", 15 on heading, marking, and tackling. He's rated by our scouts as a 3.5 star. I think throwing 2 million. Isn't it amazing? Welcome to Schalke, my friends. We actually have some money to spend. Like, I thought it was worth risking the 2 million to see what we were going to be getting. They paid 2.5 in Serie A. Okay. 38 starts, 7.0. For a central defender, he has to be decent. He has to be 2 million decent. And so we've signed him. And you could tell he's a regular starter. We have lots of regular starters. 20 grand. Nothing crazy on the bonuses or whatever. We promised him important playing minutes in a year, but like, I think it's a really good deal. We'd spent the money by this point. We're really narrowing it down. We also picked up this center back, Anel Ahmedhodzic, maybe Bosnian. We've loaned him. Okay, we loaned this guy first, so I almost wish I'd seen Batella first, but it's like that's just kind of how it goes. And I knew we were going to need some depth at center back, because once you get past Malik and David Hanko and Patrick, who can slide into that from the right back spot, it gets a little thin. So Nikolai Bolison left, Victor Paulsen has left. We don't have a core of like non-youth prospects to put into the center back spots. And so I was like, I don't know if I want to spend money, but like, could I get somebody in this? This guy was loan listed by Sevilla. Okay. They picked him up. He played, what, 14 games? Only 4 of those are starts last season. 6'9", but he's in La Liga playing for Sevilla, so he's not terrible. And I was like, you know what? He looks pretty good. He's 6'5", my friends. Now, they were, I think they had him both loan and transfer listed. The transfer listing was for 17 million. So our loan does include, we're paying his wages, no other fees, so pretty good deal. And we have an option to spend 17 million. That's the only way they would do the deal. That's the only way he would do the deal. That doesn't mean we're not obligated. It's beautiful. We got a guy on, wait for it, squad player minutes, okay? Which is exactly what we wanted, who is a 6'5" monster, really good mentals and technicals. Physicals, he could be a little more agile, but he's 6'5". I kind of don't blame you. 185 pounds. 185 pounds and 6'5". So he weighs 15 more pounds than me, but about 6 inches taller. Woo! Maybe he's not, maybe the other guy is not skin and bones that I said. Maybe I just need to lose a little weight. Maybe that's what we're learning here. But like, I think that's a phenomenal deal. 44 grand, wages only for a guy in squad player minutes who you could buy for 17 million, and he's 3.5 stars. I'm really curious to see your comments about this window. Really. Like, I think we've done really good. Last but not least, my friends, Wahid Fagir, who is a Danish prospect we picked up off of Stuttgart for 10.25 million. I thought it was because, yeah, they got relegated. So this is a relegation release clause. So all those things that you all in the comments are like, you should look at the clubs that are getting relegated. I did it. I had these guys saved in advance. Like, I didn't even wait until like May. Like, it was looking kind of bad. So I started scouting Watford and Norwich and Stuttgart and, you know, some of the other clubs. And like, they got relegated. 10.5 million. Squad player. Okay. But for depth, 3-star depth for squad player on 53 grand, Daryl DK is going to want to talk. But we could talk to him. It's fine. With 4-star potential, worth 12.5 to 14 million, 6'2". I think kind of good, to be honest with you. He had a goal and assist in the DFB Pokal. Now he played a Zweite Bundesliga team, but you know, last season, 17 starts, 1 sub, 9 goals, 3 assists. That's a goal every other game as a guy who wasn't playing all the time on a 6'8", and he was 21 last season. I think that's pretty solid depth. Oh no, what do you think? Last thing I'm going to leave you with here is I just like to see the players that we just couldn't get rid of that we released on a free. Where do they end up? So we have Juan here that was on the freaking squad list forever, has gone to Dordrecht on an amateur contract. Serves you right for not taking any of the deals we tried to bring, or for you not working harder to get a deal. Stefan Ortega has gone to Besiktas, which is kind of interesting. On 15, he's taken a pay cut. Did they like sell their keeper? Well, I'm doing release players right now. Anyway, so I mean, I get it. The first team minutes versus being a backup. I was like, man, I wish he would have stayed. And then Nikolai is still available. The other guy, Artie Mfundu, was not really part of our squad. He was in the second team. So that's where we're at, my friends. Let me know what your thoughts are on all of that. I think, personally, this is fantastic spreading of the money to get depth at very key positions to prepare us for the Champions League. I don't know if it's going to work out that way, but that was my plan going in, is like get good depth, and we still have some leadership from Origi. Oh, speaking of leadership, Xavi Simons, 22-year-old Xavi Simons is now our captain because he's got 15 leadership and teamwork, which is the best in the squad. Now, there are some players with like 13 leadership and like 16, teamwork, but I went like, no, he was the vice captain last season. We got rid of Victor Paulsen. Hey, Xavi, step right up, man. We'll see you next time. We're going to do a doubleheader. Bayern and Dortmund, and I'll reveal the new kits then. See you then.